Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Day of the Video Diary. How's it going today? Today, it's not the morning, it's the evening again. It's 7:45, and I would like to show you something. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a nice big blurry blue screen. But when you run this command right here, it goes off, calls my program copies the program that it's testing, builds that solution, which is what this build is here. The build succeeds, because of course it does. It then starts test execution, passes every single test, because of course they do. We then get the results out, and the program ends. How's it going today, ladies and gentlemen? Today, what's been going on? We've had, again, another relatively slow morning. I had a crazy dream, actually, last night. And I believe I'm gonna tell you all about it. It woke me up at 3:48, I believe it was, and I wrote it down on this piece of paper right here. So we were invited, me and my family were invited to a organisation with the Queen. Now it was either in Buckingham Palace or the White House. That wasn't really cleared up. It was in one of the two, but the Queen was there. So we headed on over there, and we were staying in one of their guest rooms. But in the guest room was weird. It was like you had to, one like monkey bar and like jungle climb bridges to get to the guest room, to the entrance to the guest room, and then the entrance to the guest room was like loads of like foresty wooded area, and then you went from the foresty wooded area and to the back of it. It was like a big freezer, this room, even though it had a forest growing in it, and at the back of it there were like rollers and things that you'd find in a supermarket, like frozen. And what you'd have to do is you'd have to climb up all of these, and then you'd have to jump for a ladder, grab onto the ladder, and then you'd climb up, and then you'd be in the guest room. In the guest room, like this is their pallets and the wooded area, and then in the guest room you'd have like this entrance reception hall. Bedroom was here, be a living room to the right, and then there was a bedroom, and then in that bedroom you could go upstairs, and then there was a huge like church area, and then at the back of the church area there was another bedroom. So anyway, while I went there on my own, walked through to the bathroom, did some stuff, and then like wandered around. And then as I came back out, there was like a little kid, like basically lying on the sofa in the reception area, just lying there, just chilling, hiding in a guitar in the dark. And I was like, whoa, grief, who the hell are you? And I was like, hey mate, do you wanna play? I'd like play guitar with you if you want. I'll go get my guitar. So I went to look around the guest room to go find a guitar. Went all the way up to like the bedroom right at the back, and inside there was Beth and Ben. They were chilling in the bed. I don't know why. I was saying to them that like I was trying to find my guitar, couldn't find it. It's probably in my car. But I don't even want to go and play guitar. I'm just like saying it to keep this kid happy. And the kid heard that, and then he wasn't very happy at all. But anyway, so we went to this fancy dress thing. We went to this fancy dress thing downstairs, and I wore like a suit, but I took down with me a green, I actually want to go behind it, a green toilet brush with me. I don't know what the fancy dress was, but taking the toilet brush with me was a social faux pas. I had to take it back. Also, we found out that like the Queen couldn't accommodate every one of us. She could only accommodate like some of us, like the important people that were there for a certain reason, not any guests. So that was like really bad news. So me and Laura was a guest. I was supposed to be there. Went back up to the room in order to like sort stuff out. So I go over this like jungle thing, climbing over a bridge and all that kind of shit. And then we get to the freezer room, climb up the freezer, I'm in front of her, and then, so I jump onto the ladder, climb up a little bit, and then like shimmy up a pole at the top of the ladder. And I look behind, and then Laura's being chased by like this mummy werewolf thing, who's running after her, and then she like, as Laura's like climbing up the ladder, it grabs her leg, and somehow Laura manages to turn around on the ladder, so she's now like face down, bites the wolf in the neck. The wolf dies, blood goes everywhere, and then she just turns around and comes up. And we come back up and we're like, that was close. And then in the reception area is the Queen, sat there having a whiskey. She's hiding from everyone downstairs, and we have a chat, and she's telling us about Princess Mary. She did this with Princess Mary recently, and I woke up. So, that was a weird dream. I woke up in the middle of the night and thought I had to write all that down, so it's on that. So, yeah, we then got up, had some bacon sandwiches and stuff. I was feeling better, I was feeling less full. I've probably eaten a little bit too much yesterday, and I regret that. So I was then that, and then we were like trying to figure out what to do. No, well we didn't. We got Graham out of a cage. She'd blocked up her tube again. We're like, right, this is enough. We're not having you with your blocked up tube anymore. So we unblocked it. We took her out, put her in a bowl, unblocked her tube, put everything in a bed, and we were like, oh god, how are we gonna stop her going in a tube? Because she keeps blocking it up, and like she's not gonna be able to breathe in there essentially. So we were like, what can we do? And Laura came up with a genius idea, and I'd like to show you the result of what's going on. Laura's watching TV, this will be quiet. Oh look, we do it there. There. And the result of which is Graham is in here somewhere. Oh look, there he is. Because he couldn't get in his tube because it was curved around, and there's no way you could spin it around to get in there, she's in a house. We won, ladies and gentlemen, we've won the fight. Now what we've got to do is we've got to keep her entertained without the tube for a couple of days until she gets properly used to sleeping in that shed, and then we'll open up a tube back. So we won. After that we then headed on into town. We weren't going to because it was raining, and then we like tried to dodge the rain, so we headed on in, dodged the rain, and then we went to go pick up some stuff. We looked at glasses because Laura was looking for some new glasses, and I looked around and I'm like, God, I hope these don't break because I fucking love these and none of the others are good. I kind of liked some Armani ones. They were like these, but this even was just like solid metal, like silver metal, and the front was black. And I'm like, even that, I didn't even like them, and they were ridiculously expensive as well. So I'm glad that these aren't breaking. And then we walked around, we went to Cafe Nero, had a cake and a hot chocolate, and a rolling pin. Laura's been looking for a rolling pin for a long time. We then walked back, and I have been in here fighting with my project, and it fucking worked. I kind of decided, I'd gone through all the projects that I had available to me, and I decided that there was no point changing tacks and changing like the way that I was building everything, because I'd have to change too much stuff, and I don't really have that much time to start changing stuff out now. Like within a month I want this system to be finished and coding done, and then I've got 2 months to write my dissertation. I can't really afford to go back to like the fundamentals of how I'm building and compiling things to change it. So I'm going through and I'm like, right, okay, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to build a project specifically engineered so that one, it will build and compile and run, and two, it will, like, I need to do it anyway at some point, is embed things for my program to find, so deliberate errors in the testing, so that my program can find it, instead of running it on either A, this solution, which in theory it won't find anything, or B, a solution where it will find so much stuff and I want it to find one specific thing. So I can tailor a project so that it only has, or like this area has this kind of error, this area has this kind of error, and then my program will go through and find that, and it's like a proof that I can do it. I'm going through that. I built that other program, and I used some fakes in it to write some unit tests. It's actually really hard to write programs that aren't really well unit tested. It's something I struggle at. But I'm building like a program with like basic ciphers in for cryptography. So it's a bit like revision for cryptography, a bit not. A bit for this, so I'm not like completely wasting my time by doing it. And run it through the program, breaks. Build doesn't break. The build doesn't work. I'm like, so the build works for one of these things, and it's the fakes. Building the fakes and it won't work. And I'm like, right, okay, so it's not just because I'm referencing MS Build within it and I'm using MS Build to build MS Build or something crazy like that. It's just because of fakes. So I go through and I'm like, why is this? And I changed the version of the Microsoft.build DLL. Works fine. Works fine. Fed it through. Had a couple of issues getting the tests running. This is what I wanted to test, was getting the tests running. Because like I wanted to make sure the URLs were right. Not the URLs. The paths to the DLLs were fine. I wanted to make sure that the outputs were okay and all that kind of stuff. And it is. So I now have fully functional system. In the meantime, me and Laura have had dinner, and we're about to chill down for, like just watch some TV and probably get Graham out if she wants to come out. But yeah, this has been a productive day, productive afternoon. And I'm going to end my video there, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm not really going to do anything else. I'm going to organise my files so I can file away any notes that I don't need for next week. Tomorrow is going to be a relatively long day on campus. We are trialling out my new module for a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. There's lots and lots of programming. I need to turn this into what I need it to be, and it's likely that I'm going to go through and I'm going to pull out this file that's produced and then convert that, because that's an XML file. So it's likely I'm going to read that out instead of parsing this. Although saying that, like, essentially this is all I need at the moment. We shall see. But otherwise, as soon as I've got that information, I can feed it back into my program, essentially, and save it in there. That's simple. I am on to the actual testing of the tests. I've got tests running and builds running. Productive. Yeah, so tomorrow, working on this, doing that. Advanced HCI in the morning. Cool, it's going to be a good day. Thank you very much for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to rend you out, get it all loaded, so I don't have to worry about you tomorrow. I'm going to be late home, and I will catch you later.